It seems that the M2 chipset in Apple devices made some major differences in terms of performance upgrades. First, it was the MacBook Air, and now it's the iPad Pro itself. But is it worth getting the MacBook Air when tablets like iPad Pro can get the job done? Well, let's find out in today's comparison between the M2 iPad Pro versus M2 MacBook Air. Rather than bringing changes to its design, Apple is now more focused on the innovation and advancement of the chipset technology. So when it comes to the design, you won't find any significant changes on M2 iPad Pro because it has the exact look of the previous iPad Pro model. You will also find two different color choices, silver and space gray, with two different sizes, 11 and 12.9 inch for this version of iPad Pro. Surprisingly, this M2 iPad Pro is also very lightweight. The 11-inch version of this iPad Pro weighs only 1.04 pounds, while the 12.9-inch weighs 1.51 pounds only. The M2 MacBook Air, on the other hand, is a fully functional laptop from Apple. Compared to the iPad Pro, it's available in 4 different colors: silver, starlight, space gray, and midnight. And design-wise, it definitely looks better with an improved flat chassis and sleek aesthetic. With 11.97-inch width and 8.46-inch depth, this M2 MacBook Air weighs only 2.7 pounds. Well, the first one is a tablet and the other one is a laptop, so it's obvious that design-wise, both devices should look different. But if you own some additional accessories for your M2 iPad Pro, it can do more than the M2 MacBook Air, which we will discuss later in this video. Before we jump into the specs, we have to keep in mind that the M2 chipset on both iPad Pro and MacBook Air gave these devices a huge performance boost. Apart from being the fastest M2 chipset upgrade, the iPad Pro also comes up with up to 16 GB RAM and 1 TB of maximum storage capacity. Besides that, thanks to these excellent 12MP wide and 10MP ultra-wide ProRes cameras, you can turn your iPad Pro into a complete movie studio. It can also capture videos at 4K resolution at up to 60fps and 30fps for 4K ProRes recording. It also has a 12MP front camera with a built-in center stage feature, which is perfect for FaceTime calls, selfies, while it also supports Face ID recognition as well. Additionally, for a fast and stable internet connection, this device also supports Wi-Fi 6E as well as 5G network compatibility. And lastly, it can back you up with up to 10 hours of maximum battery life. Similarly, thanks to this powerful chip, editing performance on the M2 MacBook Air is way faster than the previous model. As for the internal storage, it supports memories of up to 24 GB and SSD space of up to 512 GB. And if you need more space, then it can be upgraded up to 2 TB at maximum storage capacity. On top of that, the 1080p front camera delivers excellent video quality, and it also supports Face ID recognition features as well. Lastly, thanks to its strong battery life, it can cover up to 18 hours of your entire day's work life. When it comes to the display, the 12.9-inch Liquid Retina XDR touchscreen looks absolutely fantastic on the M2 iPad Pro. The 2732 by 2048 resolution in this screen features a maximum brightness of 600 nits, which delivers crisp colors and vivid image quality. Alongside this impressive display quality, you will also get a 120Hz screen with 264 pixels per inch for a smooth and tear-free visual experience. In comparison, the M2 MacBook Air also uses the same display, except it's a slightly bigger 13.6-inch LED backlit display with 224 pixels per inch and 500 nits of brightness. So performance and spec-wise, the latest M2 iPad Pro is way ahead of the M2 MacBook Air. But the M2 MacBook Air also definitely stands out to its potential when it comes to a proper laptop. But one thing that's worth pointing out, the M2 iPad Pro can also function as a laptop, all thanks to its 2-in-1 design Magic Keyboard compatibility. And if you're an artist, then another must-have accessory would be the Gen 2 Apple Pencil. But keep in mind that you have to pay an extra few bucks in order to get your hands on these accessories. Talking about the price, the 11-inch M2 iPad Pro starts at $799 and the high-end model costs $999. On the other hand, the starting price for the 12.9-inch M2 iPad Pro is $1099 and the maxed out version costs $1299. However, the starting price for the M2 MacBook Air with 512GB SSD and 8GB RAM costs $1499. And if you want the 2TB version with 24GB of RAM, then it can cost you a total of $2,499. So yeah, the price gaps between these two devices are pretty huge. But if you prefer tablets over laptops, then you can easily save up some money by getting the M2 iPad Pro, which ultimately does come with more features compared to the M2 MacBook Air. And if a laptop is what you're interested in, then the M2 MacBook Air is surely your choice. So that was all about the comparison between the M2 iPad Pro versus M2 MacBook Air. Thanks for watching. If you found this video to be helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon if you want to see more videos like this on your feed.